Watching Gladiator for the first time was an eye-opening experience. Watching Ridley Scott's historical epic made me realize how much I missed out on blockbuster filming. I usually roll my eyes when people say that they don't make them like this anymore, screaming at the clouds like an old man full of nostalgia-fueled cynicism. But after watching this, I get it. They literally don't make them like this anymore. This is a grand period epic with a hefty budget, seamlessly blending practical effects and CGI where you cannot even tell what's CGI and what's practical. The open battle alone is a masterclass in atmosphere, smoke, dirt, grime, hundreds of extras. Everything feels lived in and real. It takes its time throughout the scene to build everything so you understand what's going on, not rushing to get to the real main issue of the film. A lot of movies these days are just like this, go, 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 quick, 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 quick. But it actually took its time to build out the characters and the situations they're in. Throughout, the cinematography and the lighting is just as much part of the story as the script. For example, in that brutal opening sequence when Maximus is leading that charge against the savages, the lighting is gray and stark, reflecting the stain that the Romans have for the outside world. Later, when the story shifts to Rome, everything is brighter, has a golden hue to it, emphasizing the city's supposed glory and allure. As Maximus himself says, Rome is a shining light in the world. Rose Maximus is a throwback to the heroes and the protagonists from the 50s and 60s in sandal and sword period piece epics. Physically strong, but not cartoonishly muscular. Admirable, but yet profoundly human. He embodies a heroic archetype that we rarely see these days. Maximus is a man of duty, family, powerful but yet vulnerable. Poe's layered performance beautifully captures the character's emotional range. From grief and determination to hope and despair. Halfway through the film, I was ready to jump into the screen and fight like right alongside him. I was going to die in 2 seconds, but I was going to fight with him. Modern heroes usually fall into two tropes. They're either so invincible that nothing can hurt them, or they're so flawed they're almost as bad as the villain. And I think that they really did a good job writing this character where he told a line where he could have gone to one extreme to another. But I think with the writing and then the way Russell Crowe brought this character to life with his performance, it's one of my best performances I've seen of him because, I've seen Russell Crowe do a lot of things in his later life where he's kind of doing a lot of cash grab stuff. So I haven't really got to see him at his best. And this is one of his best. And there's my boy Joaquin Phoenix, who I didn't even realize is in this movie, a young Joaquin playing Emperor Commodus, one of the most vile and one of the most interesting modern villains in cinema. But the movie gives him layers. His motivations are clear and his insecurities are palpable. It never asks us to sympathize with him. I feel like recently in a lot of films, they try to make the villains sympathetic. And if they don't, they're kind of like cookie cut out, not layered, don't have any depth. I understood why Commodus was doing what he was doing, but I also understood that he was still a true villain. Manipulative, power-hungry, and deeply corrupt. His sins are numerous, from patricide to his grotesque obsession with his sister. Phoenix plays him with a simmering intensity, making Commodus as pathetic as he is detestable. Contrast between Maximus and Commodus is stark, but it's some of my favorite parts of the film, the way they developed it. Two men seeking revenge, but shaped by vastly different upbringings. Maximus' life rooted in love and loyalty, fueled with his pursuit of justice, while Commodus' upbringing, defined by neglect, rejection, drives his descent into tyranny and hubris. The ideological and personal conflicts with each other anchor the story in a way that I haven't seen two villains share the screen in a while. And it leads to a final confrontation that was inevitable, but very, very, very cathartic. Because throughout the movie, I just wanted this man, Russell Crowe, Maximus, to go home. That's all he wanted to do throughout the film. And then everyone kept reeling them back in every time he wanted to knock him home till this man, Commodus, destroyed his life. Another thing Gladiator did, it helped revive the historical epic. It also inspired a wave of imitators like King Arthur, Kingdom of Heaven, Troy, Alexander, 300, and countless TV shows made in these eras. Its themes of resistance, nobility, sacrifice have resonated with audiences, sparking a renewed fascination with ancient Rome and Greece, making Hollywood invest in historical stories as entertainment, not just documentary topics. To this day, we still get so many throwbacks to the medieval era. Obviously, you can think of something like Game of Thrones, which was such a big success, and Spartacus and things like that. That stems from Gladiator being such a template for those shows and movies to make. From a technical perspective, Gladiator is nearly flawless. Costumes, the set design, and the cinematography are immersive. And Hans Zimmer's score, which it usually is unforgettable. It really complements the emotional beats that's happening throughout the movie. There's a weakness in the film. Unfortunately, it's the action. which suffers from frantic editing, close-ups, and not being too clear on what's happening. There's certain action sequences that are great, like the opening action sequence, and there's a fight in the stadium where he said, "Are you not entertained?" That was pretty good, but there's other ones where it's this really edited weird where it feels kind of choppy. And it feels like maybe the actors didn't do a good job throughout, so they had to edit it in a way to make it look as best as they could. And I felt like the ending fight with Joaquin and Russell Crowe's character, while still satisfying to see Commodus go down, it wasn't as satisfying as I would like it to be because of how it was edited. Well, Gladiator isn't one of my favorite films of all time. I appreciate its deep impact on the film industry, his historical importance, and how just entertaining it is. It's just a really entertaining film, and it's really a showing of how great blockbuster filmmaking can be when it's done right. So with all that said, I'm going to give Gladiator a B. Question of the day is, what's your favorite historical epic film of all time? Drop your answers down below and we can watch more of my content. Yeah.